Yeah, I'm not going to say JBM's in trouble or anything, but Dayfry put up a pretty impressive performance there at the one. That was pretty good. So I do have to ask you, so you do have some history yourself here. Obviously, you were originally with the Sixers. That's several years past now, but you're the most winningest player in the league. This is your 4th straight year to the postseason. I mean, as a player, how does that make you feel having those accomplishments under your belt playing on such great teams?
I mean, it makes me feel good. I love the fact that I can be a part of so many great organizations, and great teams. I mean, everybody always says, like, I'm the winningest player because, I am on good teams, but it's a team game at the end of the day. I have to play my part. If I was not good at the game or if I wasn't good at all, we'd be losing. I'd be costing games. So I'm just, happy to, have that accomplishment. I didn't even realize I had it till last year. And then this year, someone from the league that does stats for the league, Josiah, hit me up and said that I have more wins than any organization in the league. So that was kind of cool. So, it's just nice, but the, main goal is the championship at the end of the year. I don't really care about, personal accolades. I just want another ring.
Absolutely. So there's a long break between now and the playoffs. Obviously, the ticket tournament comes next here for most of the league who doesn't qualify automatically for the playoffs. Since you don't know who you're going to be playing next, how do you guys stay mentally prepared for the playoffs? How do you guys stay fresh and try to prepare for an opponent that you don't know?
Well, I know we're all going to be watching the ticket because there's a good chance, somehow the ticket winner beats the team. We could play them or we could play anybody. So we're just going to stay focused. We're going to have practice still, even though it's technically a bye week for us. And we're just going to stay ready. We got to get ready for Dallas, back in person. And we want to prove a point. We're probably one of the very only teams. We are the only team to ever make playoffs after winning a championship or even being in the finals. And I think we have a really good chance to go back to back, and that's the plan.
Absolutely. So the final question here for you is, what are the chances we see this same lineup in the playoffs?
I don't think we'll see the same lineup in the playoff. It was just for fun. We're going to get back to our regular lineup and try to go for that two-peat.
Sounds great, Newdini. Thank you so much for joining us here on the WizDG post-game show, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
Thank you for having me.
All right, with that, we're going to throw it to a quick break. On the other side, recap of Game 1 and the interview with head coach Pat Crossan. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the WizDG post-game show presented by National Landing. Welcome back to the WizDG post-game show presented by National Landing. Game 2 in the books. It was a weird one, 74-67 76ers GC taking the win over the new-look WizDG team. Let's now take a look at the Game 1 highlights, with the leading scores from Game 1, where JBM in his normal position at point guard dropped 22 points. B-Rich had 17 and just awkward with 14 for WizDG. A very impressive performance. Take a look at the highlights now back from Game 1. And it started out with a bang. It was B-Rich opening up the scoring with the deep three, a staple of his play that we've seen all game long. And JBM showing off his vision, one of the big keys to the WizDG success here in their championship defense season. Being able to find all players all over the floor, JBM really leading the way. Not afraid to pull the trigger either. JBM always takes what the defense gives him. But this team, also known for steals and just awkward, is probably the biggest offender when it comes to making steals against other teams. He has no problem taking the ball any way he can from the other team. And then Newdini, again, solid defense from the biggest defensive team in the league, getting the big block on one wild walnut. And JBM, of course, not afraid to find his teammates for the easy basket. And then Newdini with the rebound, finding awkward. The turnovers, a big, big key to WizDG's success here. Dayfry, the big man, coming up big and bam! Slams the shot into the stands. A big rejection. Dayfry coming up big and Newdini coming up big as well. Both picking up big blocks in Game 1, helping secure that win. The alley-oop, it's always pretty when it happens. JBM finding Dayfry again. Of course, from deep, sealing the win for WizDG. Not only was it a big win in the series to split it at 1 game apiece, but it was the one win the team needed to secure the #1 seed in the postseason. So the defending champs are back. They are the first team to go back to the playoffs after winning the championship. And their title defense is on. And they finished game 1 with a big statement. We are now joined by the head coach of the playoff-bound WizDG and the #1 seed in the playoffs. I can't forget that. Head coach of WizDG, Pat Crossan. Pat, thank you so much for joining us. I have to ask you real quick, whose idea was it to put Dayfry at the point position there in game 2? Was it yours or his?
Well, the guys came to me after the game and, they wanted to try something new. We've actually ran that lineup in scrimmages before. And, after clinching the #1 seed, it's, hey, go for it. We'll try a different lineup up. It was working well for us in the beginning of the game. And then towards the end, I think the Sixers figured it out. Maybe it's not as easy as people think, to switch positions and be able to play at a high level in the 2K League.
No, absolutely. In fact, the game kind of broke there a little bit in the beginning. I feel like it was kind of shocked by that lineup when it saw that the players selected there. But, you have to be, like you said, in game 2, it worked out pretty well. Obviously, all these players are very skilled at their natural positions. And like you said, it's very difficult to play a secondary role, especially one that you may not have practiced for so long. But they still played very well. But what are your thoughts for this team now that you've secured the playoff spot? You're the #1 seed going into the playoffs. What does that say about this team being the only team to go back to the playoffs after winning the championship? Now you have a chance to defend your title and do something else no one else has done, and that's go back-to-back.
I think it's just a great opportunity for our guys. To be able to come back and really not take any time off. They hit practice hard in the beginning of the season, and they realize, hey, we can do something special here that no team's ever done in the 2K League, and we could be the first team to go back-to-back. So to come out of the gate, have the record that we did in the regular season, we've also had some success in the tournaments, getting the Final Fours twice. I'm really happy for the guys to come back and really just play at the highest level possible. But just like last year, the best team last year had the best regular season record. They didn't make it to the finals, and we have to realize that. And now it's a ball game where it's 0-0. Everybody's kind of at the same level in the playoffs, and we can't have a night off.
Absolutely. So now regular season's done. The ticket tournament is coming up next for that final spot in the Eastern Conference. You have a lot of time off. How do you as a coach prepare your team mentally for that time off? And how do you prepare for an opponent that you don't know you're going to face yet?
That's a good question. So for us, we're going to take the weekend off, let the guys enjoy it, come back on Monday. That week the ticket is, we'll be practicing all week because really it's probably the last time we'll get good runs versus a lot of the teams in the league because, once playoffs start, half the league, goes home. So all those teams that didn't make playoffs, they go home and we're not able to practice with them anymore. And this year, obviously, we're traveling to Dallas, so it is a little bit different compared to last year. We were playing at home. And then we have to go to Dallas. We have to find practice time, maybe 2 hours a day or so. So last week's really the only week we'll have in practice, and that's it. So we have to make sure the guys are ready to go.
Absolutely. Head coach Pat Crossan, thank you so much for joining us here on the postgame show. Best of luck in the playoffs. We can't wait to see how the team performs, and hopefully we'll be seeing you going back-to-back.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, so that will do it for everyone here at the regular season for Wizards District Gaming. We will be back for the playoffs, but because of that unknown, we don't know who we're playing and we don't know which day it will be on. But the playoffs do start on August 26th, so make sure you do pay attention to all the announcements. See who the WizDG will be playing in the postseason, and a champion will be crowned on September 4th. So until the playoffs, thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire production crew, my name is John Byram. We'll see you in the playoffs.